This is Cloudbreak, and this is Kelly surfing Cloudbreak in 1991. I'm going to analyze fantasy picks and answer the question, what will it take to make the final five? I've watched hours of video featuring Fiji's lefts and scanned my distant traumatic memories of shallow coral reefs, cleanup sets, sea snakes, and Kava ceremonies to bring you this Corona Fiji Pro preview. Cloudbreak in Fiji is less like Pipeline and Chopes in that it offers a longer wall with sections for maneuvers, but of course there's still plenty of barrels. Located in Paradise, about a mile from Tavarua and Namotu Islands, Cloudbreak is an open ocean reef pass that's usually 4 to 6 feet and has been ridden up to 25 feet, or whatever size you call this. Like many tropical reef pass breaks, the wave tends to get faster, shallower, and more critical as it runs along the reef. Keep this in mind as you choose your fantasy team. Here's Owen Wright demonstrating how to get a 10-point ride. With a whitewater roll-in, he sets up a perfect cavern and gets blown out. Then into this steep hack, which repositions him for a disappearing act into this drainer. That was round 5, heat 3 of the 2015 Fiji Pro. His next wave? Another 10-point ride and a perfect 20-point heat. But he wasn't done yet. In the finals against Julian Wilson, he did this. Another perfect 10. And here's his following wave, a 10-point ride again, 4 in total, and a second perfect heat in the same event to win the 2015 Fiji Pro. Unreal. He didn't get 4 Yeti coolers, but he did make history. We should also mention the wave at Restaurants, which is a perfect left-hand reef point in front of Tavarua's dining area. While it has less exposure to swell than Cloudbreak, its perfectly tapered walls peel like a dream across the shallow reef, making the bar patrons froth in their Fiji bitters. While it's an incredibly flawless barrel machine, the fickle nature of Restaurants usually isn't available on the Pro Tour menu. The last time they ran heats there was back in 2013. Winter storms that develop under Australia between the months of April to October produce swells for Fiji. They either march through the Tasman Sea with a more southwesterly direction and mid-period swell energy, or around the outside of New Zealand for a more southerly angle and longer period swells. Cloudbreak picks up most swell angles from the south, while Restaurants needs more west in the swell. Also, Cloudbreak would favor a lower tide, while Restaurants gets extremely shallow and needs a higher tide. Prevailing trade winds from the east-southeast are offshore for Cloudbreak. However, it can often be bumpy due to its open exposure to the wind. Currently, the swell looks pretty average, with a possible start on the 22nd of August. The Fiji event has always been run in early June, and the waves have been mostly good, even excellent. While the winds in August aren't as favorable, the chance of scoring is greater. I will have surf forecast information at oldsurfdad.com and on Instagram at oldsurfdad. You can also use the website to get on our email list and be notified when our fantasy league starts up next season. The Fiji event will decide our fantasy champion, who will receive the Hall of Fame trophy with a mini Red Tiger surfboard signed by John Florence. Whether you're a fan of the WSL finals or not, the Fiji Pro determines the final 5, with the winner at Trestles taking home the championship. The good news is that Trestles is in the rearview mirror after this season, and the finals will be at Cloudbreak in 2025. So what will it take to make the final 5? We go deep into the bunker and let our in-house statistician, DYL, explain.
Greetings. I've created a matrix that you can use to determine what each surfer needs to qualify for the final 5. Let us use Jack Robinson as an example to show you how it works. To guarantee his spot, Jack needs a semifinals berth, while Gabriel Medina would need semis or better to even have a chance to make the final 5. There's a women's version too at oldsurfdad.com. Ask questions in the comments. Out.
Thank you, DYL. Stay frosty, my friend. You can see more of his work on the website, where he graphs Fiji results for the veterans, and there's a reef break performance ranking you'll want to see before finalizing your picks. Now here's some takeaways. Over the 14 years of holding the event, all of the men's Fiji Pro champions have been goofy footers except Kelly Slater and Andy Irons. Kelly has won this event 4 times and Gabriel Medina twice. Bronze medalist Joanne DeFay is the only women's Fiji Pro champion that is still on the CT. Interestingly, all of the women's pro champions of the past have been regular footers except Keala Kennelly back in 2003. Check out oldsurfdad.com for more stats for your fantasy team. I'll be making my fantasy picks live with Western Australia's T-Bone on the Current Surf Show this Saturday, August 17th at 1:15 p.m. Los Angeles time. There will be a rebroadcast on YouTube. All right, here's my Fiji Pro Fantasy Radar, sponsored by CARVE.SURF. This includes my top pick, my coming in hot, my dark horse, and my hard pass. In Women's Tier A, we have 3 solid choices for Fiji and only 1 pick. None of these ladies have surfed Cloudbreak in a heat, although Brisa has the most Fiji experience of all the women's competitors, spending long stretches on Namotu with her dad who works on the island. Advantage Brisa. But Katie is ranked number 1 in the world with wins at Pipe, Bells, and Rio. She's already secured her spot in the finals and now battling to remain the number 1 seed. Gold medalist Caroline Marks could become the second goofy footer in the past 10 Fiji events to be champion. Based on her momentum and the current surf forecast, I'll make her my top pick. We get 2 picks in Tier B out of all these strong candidates. My big question is, will we finally see Molly make a run? She's had a lackluster season since the start of the year. Same for Betty Lou. When we toggle the blue switch to see Fiji results, only the 2 veteran stats jump out. Joanne DeFay has won this event, and I'll make her my dark horse. Tatiana Weston Webb will be my coming in hot pick. She looked good in her silver medal run in Tahiti, and she'll be scored higher in Fiji for turns. All I can say when I look at Women's Tier C is wow. Sierra Kerr and Aaron Brooks could win this event outright and disrupt the Final 5 race. It's going to be difficult to choose between the 2 of them. Veteran Tyler Wright has vastly more experience, but has never had results in Fiji. And with these 2 wildcards, I can't see choosing her. She's my hard pass. In Men's Tier A, everyone except John, who has already made the finals, are battling for a spot in the top 5. No one else is safe. Who will use that momentum in their heat, and who will feel the pressure? I don't think John is feeling much pressure, and a relaxed John is a dangerous competitor and my top pick. Let's toggle the blue switch to reveal John's stats, including 63% heat wins and a 14.53 average heat score. Griffin and Jack have no competitive experience at Cloudbreak, but recent trips have made them familiar with the break. Idolo has had modest success in his 2 outings, and I'm definitely considering him for my team in Tier A. Finally, Ethan and Yago did not do well in 2017, but their surfing has improved dramatically since then. Tier A has difficult choices, and I'll be overthinking it until our live show on August 17th when we make our final picks. Men's Tier B is deep, and the most interesting surfer here is Gabriel Medina. He needs at least a semis to have a chance at the WSL finals. I'm going to make the bronze medal winner my coming in hot pick because he always heats up at the end of the season and he's too dangerous to bet against. How about Jordy? He's had average results in the past and needs at least a quarterfinal to have a chance at the top 5, while a win would secure his spot. Now, did you know that Connor O'Leary was the runner-up at the Fiji Pro in 2017? Neither did I until I did the research. I'll make him my dark horse. Other standouts to me are Ramsey Bukaim, Jake Marshall, and Bear Mamiya if it's large. In Tier C, there's some excellent CT surfers here, especially if they're swell. Unfortunately, I would have to make local boy Tavita my hard pass with all this talent around him. By the way, I really like Liam O'Brien's chances in any size waves. But let's take a moment and look at the GOAT's numbers. 75% win percentage and a 15.72 average heat score. Remarkable. But aren't these old stats? Is Kelly still relevant, especially if the waves are small? Has Kelly jumped the shark? And for those that never watched Happy Days, let me translate.
Kelly's like so out.
But will I pick him? Maybe, but I know my co-host T-Bone well, and you can watch it live on our Current Surf Show on August 17th at 1:15 p.m. Los Angeles time. Hey everyone, thanks for watching and welcome to all the new subscribers. I really appreciate it. If you haven't subscribed, please consider joining to get an update when I release the preview video for the WSL Finals. Now here it is, your moment of stoke.